Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel General Hospital Official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Alexis could sue for Scout's custody, but will Drew give her up? According to General Hospital spoilers, Alexis Davis is becoming increasingly concerned about Scout Quartermaine, her granddaughter. When Sam McCall died, she left a will that stated how vital it was to her that her children be together. Drew Quartermaine disrupted those intentions by relocating Scout from the Quartermaine residence after being evicted, and many would argue deservedly so. Sleeping with his nephew's wife violated the family code. While Alexis is unconcerned about Drew's private life, she is concerned that his motivations for dating Willow Corinthos are not always in Scout's best interests. Will she take legal action to address the situation? General Hospital spoilers, Willow Tate's problems take priority. Willow has become Drew's main priority. Regardless of how flowery he makes their romance sound, and regardless of whether Scout likes Willow, she is not a replacement for Sam in her life. Alexis hasn't directly accused Drew of looking for a replacement mommy for Scout, and it doesn't appear that he is doing so. Rather, he wants Willow in his life, so he's trying to justify her presence in Scout's world as well. For Alexis, it does not pass the smell test. GH spoilers Alexis Davis takes note. Alexis approached Drew about her concerns regarding Scout, and she was dismissed throughout. Drew showed her respect by listening to her, but he dismissed all of her concerns and insisted she just doesn't realize how amazing things are with him and Willow. Let's just say none of us do. With all of the drama that has surrounded them since their first kiss, how could they possibly have had time to establish a genuine relationship? Alexis may believe that going via other channels, such as Curtis Ashford, will help her solve this problem, but this may not be the case. General Hospital spoilers, Drew Cain won't take this lying down. Curtis isn't going back to Drew to inform him Alexis is checking on him, but someone will at some time. When Drew learns that Alexis is a dog with a bone and hasn't dropped it, he may realize he's in for a struggle. Or it could strike him in the face when Alexis applies for custody of her granddaughter in an attempt to honor Sam's desires while protecting Scout's best interests. Drew is expected to battle fiercely, which will undoubtedly divert his attention away from Willow's numerous needs. Will their developing connection survive? GH spoilers, Willow regrets her decision. The Quartermaines take her children at Michael's request. According to General Hospital spoilers, even though Michael Corinthos is off the canvas and on his way to Germany for treatment, he will not tolerate his wife, Willow Corinthos' infidelity with Drew Quartermaine. Willow made a deal with Jason Morgan to drop the accusations against Tracy Quartermaine in exchange for moving into the Quartermaine gatehouse with her children, Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos. She may have her children back for the time being, but Michael will strike again soon enough. General Hospital spoilers, the Quartermaines will act on Michael Corinthos' behalf while Michael is recovering in Germany. He may convey instructions to his family on how he wishes to continue. He is undoubtedly resentful over Willow's involvement with his uncle, Drew, and may believe that she is not the finest parental figure to be around the children. Diane Miller, his attorney, can obtain a court order to remove Wiley and Amelia from Willow and care for them in the Quartermaine estate, with Willow barred from being near them. Willow's judgment has proved to be weak. Willow could potentially lose custody at any time. GH spoilers Willow Tate regrets her decision. Willow will regret her decision to let Tracy free and get the charges dropped against her. Willow will be devastated if she loses her children. Willow will not take this lying down, but she will not have any leverage to save her children, and she will lose custody. Drew may be there for her, but he has a limited ability to help. Going up against the Quartermaines would be difficult, but Willow will undoubtedly try, to no avail. General Hospital spoilers, Michael Corinthos will return eventually. Michael will recuperate and return to Port Charles. At that point, he'll be concerned with ensuring that he gets custody of his children and that Willow and Drew are held accountable for their actions. Michael may recuperate in time for a permanent custody hearing, which he intends to win. Willow might lose everything, and she only has herself to blame. GH spoilers, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you think Willow will regret her decision? Do you think Willow might still lose her children? Will Quartermaine take the children on Michael's behalf? General Hospital spoilers, where is TJ Ashford, and is Taj Bella leaving? According to General Hospital spoilers, fans are becoming increasingly anxious about one actor's fate now that his character has vanished from the screen. Where is TJ Ashford? Is Taj Bello leaving GH? Molly Lansing Davis has made occasional appearances after her split with TJ. We've seen the program seemingly shop Molly around and test her compatibility with various potential love interests. TJ, on the other hand, has completely vanished off the canvas, and he hasn't shown in the opening titles in quite some time. There has been no confirmation of TJ's exit, but many people are becoming concerned that Bello may be on his way out. TJ and Molly's breakup could have provided an opportunity for new pairings and stories for TJ, but it appears that the show utilized it to dismiss him instead. It's been raising red flags and generating concerns. There doesn't appear to be anything notable in the plans for TJ, especially since he doesn't even receive airtime. It's possible that the program will eventually shift gears and provide Bello with fantastic material, but this could also be the new standard. Some supporters believe that TJ's exit is inevitable. TJ may not even get a proper exit arc if he leaves, as he has simply faded away at this point. Even if TJ sticks around, Taj Bello may continue to appear. GH does not appear to be interested in making TJ a prominent player in Port Charles, so we should be prepared for some unpleasant news. Of course, we'll keep you updated if anything official happens regarding Bello's status with the show. It will be interesting to see if TJ's time in PC is really coming to an end. How do you feel about TJ's disappearance from the canvas recently? Do you want to see more of TJ, or are you okay with other characters taking the spotlight? According to General Hospital spoilers, there may be more cast changes on the way, so we'll keep you updated on who will come and go. GH spoilers for Monday, January 27th, plans made, proceed with caution, priority responsibilities. General Hospital spoilers and updates for Monday, January 27th indicate that arrangements have been established, but proceed with caution and priority obligations. Elizabeth Baldwin has ambitions, Laura Collins urges to approach with caution, and Jason Morgan has key obligations. General Hospital spoilers, intentions made. Elizabeth is with Lucky Spencer, and she clearly has intentions, as they take a risk. They are clearly standing outside a wooden door in a hallway somewhere, and she informs Lucky that once we tell her what's going on, she's going to help us find what we need. Who is Elizabeth referring to? It doesn't appear like GH where they are. What type of information does the woman have for them? It's conceivable they tracked down Florence Gray, the mother of Martin Gray and Cyrus Renault. Florence might be able to explain why Cyrus has become an angel of death. GH spoilers, continue with caution elsewhere. Laura advises Lulu Spencer to continue with caution, as she may be asking for trouble. She is most likely referring to Lulu's new position as Brooke Lynn Quartermain's assistant at Deception Cosmetics. She is also under the control of her ex-stepmother Tracy Quartermain, who lobbied for the hire when Lulu was standing in the office alongside Brooke Lynn and Maxie Jones. Even though Lulu and Brooke Lynn agreed to end their long-standing feud, the situation remains unpleasant. Plus, it puts Maxie between the two of them, and she has stated that she does not want to give up their friendship. Drew Quartermain and Martin Gray meet, and Martin appears disturbed as Drew tells him what is going on. Tracy barred Drew from the gatehouse, but it was unclear whether she also barred him from the Quartermain home. Drew is furious because Willow Corinthos and her children are living at the gatehouse, and he is not permitted to be there. Martin becomes concerned and upset as Drew informs him that if they are going to prevent him from seeing Willow, they will have another surprise in store. Drew appears to be making serious threats, but what exactly does he believe he is capable of doing? GH spoilers, Willow catches up with Chase elsewhere. Willow brightens as she catches up with Harrison Chase, who has made her an offer that she will accept. Perhaps he's proposing to assist her devise a better plan than subjecting her and her children to Tracy's whims and demands. Willow had already told Tracy what she would and would not do with Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Tracy threw down the law, banning Drew from the gatehouse and probably from the Quartermain property. He and Scout Quartermain had been staying in a motel. Christina Corinthos Davis is concerned about Sonny Corinthos' trip to California, which Brick recently arranged for him to see a cardiologist there. She asks her father if today is the ideal time for him to travel. Her mind is focused on his targeting of his penthouse, which caught Michael Corinthos in the crossfire, unaware of Sonny's cardiac condition. Christina is experienced enough with the mob to recognize that Sonny's departure from his zone is not a good idea. Will he be able to persuade her that it's an essential trip and everything will be fine? GH spoilers, priority responsibilities. Anna Devane becomes serious as Jason is emphatic, shouting at her, "I need to do something more for him now." But is he talking about Sonny or his son, Danny Morgan? Michael Corinthos is in good hands in the burn clinic in Baden-Baden, so Jason can't help him. Jason has been doing some work for and with Anna, which may restrict him from working for Sonny. Also, he has already persuaded Sonny to leave the mob. And he refused to take over his mob operation because to the potential danger to Danny, or is he referring to working for the WSB and Jack Brennan? General Hospital spoilers weekly update January 20th to 24th, Michael leaves, Jocelyn believes. Someone said goodbye, which led to someone else saying hello. General Hospital teasers for January 27th to 31st, 2025, hint at some shocking news following a joyful week gone bad. Weekly recap episode 15631 air date, Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. After telling Carly that he intended to go to the clinic in Germany, Michael requested to visit Sasha. While Carly looked for Sasha, Willow stepped in to apologize for all that had happened between them. But, as Michael's anguish grew, Portia was obliged to sedate him before Sasha arrived. Brennan said goodbye to Carly as the jet arrived to take Michael. When Tracy refused to give up where the kids were, Anna called Jason to try to deal with his family. Tracy refused to back down and ended up in a cell, while Jason discovered Drew and Willow in the GH chapel. Sasha told Maxie about herself and her impending motherhood, while Christina and Alexis ran into Ava on the dock, where Alexis advised Ava to keep away from her daughter. Alexis visited with Sidwell and gave him Windmere documents, while Ava went to Sonny's office and pummeled him over the fire. When she left, Sonny had another AFib episode, which rendered him comatose on the floor. Episode 15632 aired on Wednesday, January 22, 2025. At the reopening of Charlie's, Christina greeted Maxie, Spinelli, and Brick, while Lucky was joined by Elizabeth and Isaiah. Jordan came to see Isaiah, making Brick jealous. Natalia discovered Sonny unconscious on the floor and administered his medication before he regained consciousness. She attempted to take him to the hospital, but he refused and begged her to contact Isaiah instead. He arrived and cautioned Sonny that his heart condition would only worsen if he didn't get checked out. Back at Charlie's, Lucky and Elizabeth questioned Martin about his brother, and he disclosed that Cyrus had always wanted he could relieve their ill mother's misery. When Cody arrived and saw Spinelli, he had the bright idea of trying to acquire another $75,000 in hush money from Spinelli for the secrets he maintained about Spinelli's dating app. Spinelli refused, and their disagreement ended with Lucky attempting to settle things down and being punched by Cody. Lulu arrived at the PCPD to speak with Tracy, while Jason told Willow she could have the kids back as long as she moved back into the gatehouse. Tracy's charges were dismissed as a result of the agreement, while Cody was taken into custody. Episode 15633 aired on Thursday, January 23, 2025. While Elizabeth was tending to Lucky's wounds, Cody ignored Molly's attempt to mediate the situation until Mac arrived and confronted his son. Lucas reiterated the Cyrus theory to Jocelyn. Brick found Sonny a discreet doctor in Los Angeles, but Natalia insisted on checking on him. Rick showed Ava her greatest option for survival, and the two kissed. Lucy accompanied Sidwell to the reopening of Charlie's, where Jordan spotted him. She went to Laura's office to notify her he was back, and when they discovered he had no outstanding warrants, Lucy requested that she meet with him. Tracy barged in on Willow and Nina at the gatehouse and laid down the rules, no Drew. Episode 15634 aired on Friday, January 24, 2025. Meanwhile, Drew attempted to persuade Curtis to allow him back at Aurora, but Curtis declined. Brennan surprised Carly in Germany, comforting her as Michael began to heal. Kai discovered he'll never play football again. Maxie served as referee at Deception, and Brooke Lynn made apologies, but when Tracy arrived, she promptly assigned Lulu the assistant position. Joss signed up to volunteer at Turning Woods, intending to catch Cyrus in the act. Laura told Anna about her conversation with Sidwell, who assured them that he would not cause any trouble despite their suggestions that he leave Port Charles. The week ahead in Port Charles will bring some surprising news to Brooke Lynn, while Sasha may make an admission to Jason. Next week's breakdown episode 15635 airs on Monday, January 27, 2025. Lucky and Elizabeth take a gamble. Anna views Jason in a different perspective. Laura confides in Lulu. Christina is suspicious. Nina and Curtis make a strategy. Episode 15636 aired on Tuesday, January 28, 2025. Alexis is left reeling. Trina encourages Kai. Carly gets a warning. Anna confronted Emma. Chase has some news for Brooklyn. Episode 15637 aired on Wednesday, January 29, 2025. Dante is frightened. Tracy and Martin had an altercation. Cody is taken completely by surprise. Brooklyn considers her next action. Sasha opens out to Jason. Carly and Brennan get closer in episode 15638, which aired on Thursday, January 30, 2025. Lulu confides in Maxie. Molly and Christina are stunned. Dante briefs Chase. Cody rushes to conclusions. Episode 15639 aired on Friday, January 31, 2025. Rick and Ava make a plea. Dante confronted Anna. Brooklyn seeks out Cody. Laura offers Lulu food for thinking. Brad submits an outlandish request. The gentle buzz of conversations filled the room as Carly Corinthos stood by her son's bedside. Portia Robinson, Willow Corinthos, and Sunny Corinthos stood at her side. Each had the same concerned expression on their face, their gaze bouncing between Michael and the monitors that showed his vital signs. Carly softly brushed a palm against Michael's arm while Portia delivered the drug to awaken him from his coma. "We're here, sweetheart," she said quietly, her voice firm despite the maelstrom of emotions inside her. Michael's eyelids flickered and his breathing quickened as he became aware of his surroundings. The agony struck almost immediately, a harsh, scorching sensation that made him wince. "Michael," Willow whispered quietly, moving down to meet his gaze. "I know this is hard, but we need to talk to you about something important." "The choice." Carly exchanged a glance with Sunny before approaching Michael's bedside. "You have two options for your treatment," she said, her tone soft but stern. "There's a facility nearby with an excellent reputation. But there's another option, a modern clinic in Germany. It's cutting edge, and they've had fantastic results with cases like yours. The choice is yours." Michael furrowed his face as he considered her comments. His voice was scratchy and feeble, barely rising beyond a whisper. "I don't know if I can think clearly right now." "We understand," Sunny added. "But this decision is significant. It's about your healing and future." Michael grimaced as the agony made it impossible to concentrate. "I trust you, Mom," he said after a pause. "If you think Germany is the best option, I'll go." Carly's internal conflict. Carly had hoped Michael would make the decision himself, but hearing his comments left her torn. She knew the German center would provide the best opportunity for a full recovery with minimal scarring, but it also meant he'd be away from home during his most vulnerable times. Willow, sitting on the opposite side of the bed, sought for Michael's hand. "It's a great option," she murmured gently, her voice tinged with doubt. "But it will take you away from Wiley and Amelia. They will miss you, Michael." Michael's pain-clouded eyes flickered with emotion at the mention of his children. "I don't want them to see me like this," he said softly. Sunny's perspective. Sunny, who had remained mute for most of the talk, suddenly spoke. "Michael, I know what it is to struggle through pain like this. If this facility can help you recuperate faster and provide you the best chance of resuming your life, it's worth it. We'll find a way to ensure Wiley and Amelia see you. You will not be alone." Carly nodded in agreement, her resolve increasing. "I'll be with you every step of the way, Michael. If you travel to Germany, I will make certain you are supported." The final decision. Michael closed his eyes, his expression indicating fatigue. "Germany," he finally stated, his voice scarcely audible. "If it means I can get better, really better, I'll do it." Carly felt a sense of relief wash over her, but it was tempered by the reality of what lay ahead. "You're making the right choice," she reassured him, gripping his hand firmly. Preparing for departure. Over the next 3 days, plans were made for Michael's relocation. Carly worked tirelessly to ensure that everything was in place, including the travel and clinic accommodations. She also collaborated with Jack Brennan, who had initially recommended the facility. Meanwhile, Willow wrestled with her own emotions. Though she felt Germany was the greatest option for Michael, the notion of him being so far away made her apprehensive. She looked to Sunny for assurance. "He'll come back stronger," Sunny assured her. "And you'll have the man you love back, whole and healthy." Goodbye at the airport. Michael's departure came all too swiftly. Carly, Willow, and Sunny gathered by him on the private airport as the medical team prepared to take off. Wiley and Amelia had been left in the care of the Quartermaines, and their absence served as a sad reminder of Michael's sacrifice. "Take care of yourself," Willow murmured, tears running down her cheeks as she embraced Michael gently. "I will," he promised, his voice trembling with emotion. Carly stepped forward, her composure intact but her heart tearing. "I'll see you soon," she whispered, planting a kiss on his forehead. A hopeful future. Carly stood on the tarmac as the plane took off, waiting until it vanished from sight. She was torn between hope and terror, but she held on to the conviction that Michael was on his way to recovery. In the days ahead, the Corinthos and Quartermaine families would band together to support one another as they awaited news from Germany. And, while the road ahead was uncertain, one thing was certain: Michael's decision marked the start of a new chapter, one full of challenges but also full of hope for healing and renewal. Michael Corinthos lay in the sterile embrace of the hospital's burn unit, his body a battlefield of agony and resilience. The scorching burns on his flesh were a witness to the raging insanity that had just consumed his life, both physically and metaphorically. His mother, Carly Corinthos, held vigil by his side, her heart burdened with decisions no parent should have to face. "Michael," she whispered, her voice gentle but steady, "we need to talk about what comes next." He opened his eyes, the weight of his pain imprinted on his visage. His voice was feeble, but it had a calm strength. "What is there to talk about, Mom? Please tell me what I need to do." Carly shook her head. "This is your decision, sweetie. There's a hospital nearby with an excellent reputation, but there's also a clinic in Germany that provides cutting-edge treatments. They could provide you the opportunity to heal without scars and actually go on." Michael winced, his mind obscured by the fog of pills and the ache of his wounds. Nonetheless, he nodded, his faith in his mother unshakable. "Then Germany," he muttered. "If it's the best chance I have, I'll go." Carly's hand tightened around him. She had her answer, but the adventure that lay ahead would put them all to the test. Willow's fears at the chapel. Meanwhile, in the calm sanctuary of the hospital chapel, Willow Corinthos kneeled in prayer, her hands held tightly as if to anchor herself against the torrent of her fears. The subtle flicker of candlelight revealed her tear-stained face as she struggled with her uncertainties. Drew Quartermaine entered, his presence a reassuring firmness in the echoing chamber. "Willow," he whispered gently, taking a seat next to her. "You've been carrying a lot. It's fine to let some of it out." Her shoulders twitched and she exhaled shakily. "I am afraid, Drew. I am concerned that I have pushed too hard and made too many blunders. What if I've missed my chance to bring Wiley and Amelia back home?" Drew's gaze softened. "You're doing all you can. Michael is aware of this. And so do I, Willow, you're stronger than you believe." She nodded, but her concerns lingered like shadows, refusing to be completely eradicated. Tracy's unwavering will. Tracy Quartermaine sat in the frigid, clinical confines of the police station, a waiting area that functioned as a battlefield for her indomitable determination. Despite the agony of handcuffs around her wrists, her soul remained unbroken. Anna Devane loomed above her, a symbol of authority and resolve. "Tracy, you've gone too far this time," Anna replied, her voice piercing through the tension like a scalpel. "You can't just flout court orders and expect to get away with it." Tracy's lips twisted into a smile, rebellion flashing in her gaze. "I was protecting my family," she responded. Something you, of all people, should understand. Martin Gray, standing nearby, let out a long sigh. Tracy, you're not doing yourself any favors here. Tracy ignored him, focusing entirely on Anna. You may think you have me cornered, but remember who I am. The Quartermaine name still has value, and I want to use it. Maxie's cautionary tale. Maxie Jones sat across from Natalia Ramirez in the deception offices, her face filled with concern and resolve. The younger woman's face was pale, her worry palpable as she described the recent explosion that shook Sonny Corinthos' warehouse. Sonny's world isn't for the faint of heart, Maxie observed, her voice full of hard-earned wisdom. I've witnessed what happens when people get too close to him. It's not only about the danger, it's also about what it does to your soul. Natalia swallowed firmly, her hands quivering slightly. But what if? Maxie raised a hand to stop her. No what-ifs. Consider what you want for your future, Natalia. Because if you're not careful, Sonny's world will make the decision for you. Ava's desperate plea. Meanwhile, Ava Jerome had tracked down Sonny at his temporary house, her emotions a tumultuous combination of rage and despair. Sonny, she said, her voice rising with each syllable, this has got to stop. Our daughter's safety must come first. Sonny, looking stressed, ran a hand through his hair. Do you think I don't know that? You think I wouldn't want to protect her? Ava's eyes blazed with rage. If you did, you wouldn't pull her into your mess. Do you have any clue how close she was to getting trapped in that explosion? The stress of the confrontation began to take its toll on Sonny, who reflexively moved his hand to his chest. Ava noticed right away, her fury turning to concern. You're not invincible, Sonny, she replied softly. Maybe it's time you stopped pretending to be. Jason's outburst, Drew fights for Willow, Christina suspects Sonny. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, January 27 suggest that Lucky Spencer and Elizabeth Baldwin will gamble at Turning Woods, where Jocelyn Jacks has recently signed up as a volunteer as part of her campaign to expose Cyrus Renaud. Once we tell her what's going on, she's gonna help us find what we need, Liz assures Lucky in Monday's GH Peak video. Will Jocelyn help Lucky and Elizabeth because they're all on the same side here? Laura Collins will speak up to Lulu Spencer and realize he might be headed for trouble. Laura may be concerned about Lucky turning rogue or possibly ending up on Jen Sidwell's vengeful path now that he is in Port Charles. Laura might, however, be concerned about someone else. Regardless, it will be lovely to watch a mother-daughter bonding moment when Laura expresses her anxieties to Lulu. Drew Quartermaine will then meet with Martin Gray and may decide to revenge against Tracy Quartermaine, who barred him from the Quartermaine property. Drew will warn that if anyone thinks they can prevent him from meeting Willow Corinthos, they got another thing coming. Meanwhile, it appears that Harrison Chase will warmly welcome Willow back to the Gatehouse. Chase might also imply about babysitting for father practice or assisting with Tracy, so Willow will grin when she accepts his offer. Nina Reeves and Curtis Ashford will get together and scheme. Curtis and Nina will establish an alliance against Drew, so stay tuned for updates on their strategy. Christina Corinthos Davis will feel she is not receiving the full story from Sonny Corinthos, who will give her a fake reason for his vacation to Los Angeles. Christina will question Sonny's decision to fly across the nation rather than investigate the Port Charles attack. However, Sonny will make it appear as if this trip cannot wait and will try to sell Christina on a bogus excuse. Sonny won't want Christina to be concerned, therefore our predictions suggest he'll continue to conceal his heart problem for the time being. Jason Morgan will show Anna Devane another side of himself. Jason will have an outburst that demonstrates emotional depth to Anna and leaves her choked up. I need to do something more for him right now, Jason exclaims in Monday's teaser video. Jason appears to be frustrated by the risk to Sonny and his loved ones, and he will express his feelings. Anna may inform Jason of her suspicions that Sidwell is responsible for the explosive device left in Sonny's apartment and join him in his investigation. According to General Hospital spoilers, some unexpected developments are on the way with all of the Sonny mayhem. General Hospital spoilers, Sonny's heart condition revealed a new threat from the Five Families? General Hospital spoilers and updates revealed that Sonny Corinthos recently met with Brick, who arranged an important visit with the nation's best cardiologist. Sonny must now fly to Los Angeles surreptitiously, ensuring that no one discovers the genuine reason for his visit. General Hospital spoilers: Christina, Sonny Corinthos' daughter, is concerned about him traveling. There's a fair likelihood that the rest of the 5 families on the East Coast have reassembled after a period of time when just Selena Wu and he remained. There was one grandson in particular who was causing difficulties at the Savoy, and he was kicked out of town. He could return. Christina Corinthos Davis is clearly concerned about Sonny's trip out of town. In the preview for Monday, January 27th, she believes it may not be the best time for him to fly. Of course, she could be referring to another circumstance as well, but there is no one to take over. Jason Morgan has declined. GH spoilers: Brick recognizes Sonny's heart condition may pose mob threats. Brick highlighted the need of keeping Sonny's heart condition private. This is especially important for the 5 families, as any sign of weakness from Sonny could spark trouble from other mobsters. Natalia Ramirez appears to be assisting Sonny in creating a cover story for his stay in Los Angeles, but his explanation runs the risk of unraveling. What if the truth comes out and causes chaos in Port Charles? Given Brick's increased fear, it appears that the GH writers are teasing the potential pandemonium that could ensue. General Hospital spoilers: is Selena Wu friend or foe? Selena has occasionally supported Sonny, but her devotion is as fickle as the wind, ready to shift if circumstances change. It's evident that Selena prioritizes her own interests, which raises the question of whether she'll target Sonny's domain. That prospect is significant, but we must also consider the other mob leaders and villains who may stir the boil. Let's not forget about Sonny's recent attempt on his life with that explosive device. This new information regarding his cardiac issue could complicate matters even further. Furthermore, Cyrus Renault may become aware of Sonny's health issues, posing an entirely new type of threat. GH spoilers: Cyrus Renault could target Sonny Corinthos and seize his LA trip. Cyrus has been focusing on patients who use Digitalis, making it a difficult position for him to learn that Sonny has heart problems. He may target Sonny and cancel this trip to Los Angeles, or he could still have mob contacts on the West Coast. Regardless of the circumstances, Sonny is in danger for a variety of reasons, as do those he loves. Michael Corinthos may not be the only one caught up in Sonny's perilous business, so we'll keep you informed with additional predictions about what happens next. According to forthcoming teasers, Sonny's trip to Los Angeles could end badly if he isn't careful, so keep a watch out to see if this information leaks. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.